One of the more mind-boggling aspects of Trumpism for me is how many people at high levels are willing to look like absolute clowns, to fall all over themselves to try and flatter Donald Trump when the whole goddamn world knows what they're saying is inaccurate. Like, these guys are pretending, it seems like, that we aren't going to remember the shit that they said in a post-Trump world. Right? He's the greatest of this. He's in the best shape. He's the most physically fit. He's got the greatest memories. Listen to this shit RFK Jr. said about him.
RFK Jr. has lost his mind. This is what he had to say about Trump.
He has encyclopedic molecular knowledge.
Sorry, I had to interrupt to make sure that you understand what I said. RFK Jr. here is talking about Trump when he said what he said about encyclopedic knowledge. And then RFK decides to regale us with this absolutely true story.
And he got a placemat and he turned it on its back, and then he took a Sharpie and he drew a perfect map of the Mideast. And then he put the troop strength of every country on every border.
Are we sure he's talking about Trump? This Donald Trump?
The Continental Army, our army manned the airports. It took over the airports. It did everything it had to do.
You know, the one who thinks that the 1775 Continental Army targeted airports. You know what? Maybe Trump's encyclopedic knowledge isn't about history. RFK Jr. talked about geography, so maybe he's more of a geography buff.
And we're building a wall in Colorado. A beautiful wall. A big one that really works.
So, is it this Trump we're talking about? The one who doesn't know that Colorado is not a border state? Or maybe it's this one.
I'm greatly honored to host this lunch, to be joined by the leaders of Nambia.
It's Namibia, not Nambia. But maybe RFK Jr. is talking about this Trump.
To think that we settled Azerbaijan and Albania.
The country you're looking for is Azerbaijan, and the diplomatic tension was with Armenia, not Albania. And the saddest thing is that either RFK Jr. is too afraid of Trump to even refrain from making up fables, or he could keep his mouth shut, but instead chooses to lie to the American voters who are dumb enough to believe that Trump is a genius, and he's instead complicit in one of the biggest character scams in the history of our country.
They all need to fall all over themselves to prove that they're the biggest Trumper, that they're willing to tell the most fanciful stories about him. All of them, across the board. Like, nobody's going to remember that they did this shit. Like, nobody's going to remember the ridiculous shit. Ronnie Jackson, when he was the White House doctor, said Donald Trump was the most fit president in American history. And Ronnie Jackson was the White House doctor at the tail end of the Obama administration. These people that are just willing to go out there and play the Kim Jong-un shit. Trump is the greatest at everything he has ever done in the history of everything that has ever been done. Is absolutely insane.